me, before I was blindfolded, that everyone in there was cheating. Had he seen that ridiculous IQ score I've talked about on my transcript? Did he recognize my talent as a typist, assuming there even is such a thing? Did he simply feel sorry for me because he'd been a tall, awkward, skinny kid himself? Who knows? Maybe all of the above. I'll never really know, and I suppose it doesn't matter. What did is being taught to type by such a big, rugged bastard like that mediated my own misgivings about being good at a girl's job. And I would have missed so much if I hadn't learned to type. It's been even more than walking, the great meditation of my life. By the end of that summer, when I was hammering out 80 words a minute with no errors, I pretty much had the formula down, namely that the faster I typed, the more my right brain kicked in, and the more far away and serene I felt. So, think about it. What would be a performance-enhancing drug with a skill like that? Pot. And where could I best put my speed to use around adrenaline junkies as crazy as I was? Attorneys. All I needed then was for computers to be invented, because until then, the fastest you could go on the best of typewriters, like an IBM Selectric, was 125, 130 words a minute. First time I sat down at a word processor in 77, realized the only limit was how fast I could go. Within 6 months, I was doing over 200 words a minute. Attorneys would bring clients around to watch me, because not only could I input the text in front of me in a blur, but I could carry on a conversation with you while I did it. I was kind of a sideshow, a trained monkey. It wasn't ideal, but it was a job where being high was an asset and a skill I could drag town to town with me. So I did it the last decade of my working life, before I moved to Portland to grow pot. Plus I liked working for attorneys. They were smart and tough. I was doing 3 12-hour days a week at my last firm when the senior partner called me into his office. He was